Well, this is the week of bringing in YA novel writers to write strong female leads and completely bastardize them. Now, White Widow is a Black Widow, but she's now in a white uniform, so they're calling her white. And there's already a character called White Widow in indie comics. Wonder how that's going to go with all this. But they're, of course, trying to brand this here as something new. Now, this is a character who was replacing Black Widow back in the day. It was done by Devin Grayson. It was actually a pretty good storyline as the two Black Widows kind of fought each other and then kind of ended up having to team up, basically. It's one of those tropes back in the day. And in the movie, as you see, that kind of happened too. And this new character then is kind of becoming, quote, the new Black Widow, who's now White Widow, I guess. They brought in Sarah Gailey, who does not know how to write comic books. And just like the Supergirl book, which Mariko Tamaki does not know how to write comic books over in DC, they do kind of the same thing here. You start out, at least Sarah starts out with like a action scene in the past here. But as you see, she bogs down the action scene with so much dialogue as she's going back and forth with Captain America. The art in this is really funky. They do everything they can to make this character look unattractive and weird. I don't know what the heck's up with that right there. But her head gets scrunched in weird ways throughout this entire book. Like, this artist is really inconsistent. Basically, she's trying to track down a criminal. Captain America's like, we don't kill. He does that nonsense. And then we fast forward to current day. So at least she did that. There was 3 pages of something interesting, and that's where the interesting parts end. As you see, she just spams dialogue across the page here. She just introduces all these roommate characters and things like that, one of which is a non-binary 17-year-old, and that's it. And this person never shows up in the book. They just wanted to put a non-binary in there for the hell of it, so it was pointless to do this. And then we have this page of like her doing self-therapy with what she likes. And I mean, I'm dead serious. It's like, this lady has no idea how to write a comic. This is supposed to be like a Russian super spy, okay, who's like come over to America, I guess, and is integrating in now. She's not sitting there doing like white woman therapy, Sarah Gailey. I know that's your life, and so you had to rewrite this character. And this is the theme of the week. All these women decide to write the characters to be themselves rather than to be the characters they actually are. A Russian super spy who's like out there bred to be a vicious killer is not sitting around doing their self-therapy with their dog, their fur baby. Right? Yeah, that's how you can tell it's a self-insert. And just look at this. Nothing happens for the rest of the issue. There's a black lady character who's like has to be caught at some point. And I guess she's becoming kind of a mercenary now. But there's so much just nonsense in between this stuff. It's like it's impossible to finish reading the storyline. It's so slow here, and it's tough. And here's more of the weird faces. Look at that face with the giant forehead. Like, who thought that was a good idea art-wise? She makes the character ugly who's supposed to be beautiful. Gosh. Terrible. And eventually they just sit and talk because that's what happens here. And then there's a bad guy who's showing up to, like, set up a future issue. So really nothing happened. The character accomplished nothing, did nothing other than just a bunch of self-therapy and pooping letters across the page as she put in too much dialogue, forgetting that this is a visual medium and not a novel. And so it's just horribly written garbage with bad art on top of it. This might even be worse than Supergirl. I couldn't even finish reading this book. I really couldn't. I'll give it a 2 out of 10 because the cover looks okay. And that's it. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.